The Sapphire Crown Hotel in downtown Chicago stood as a beacon of extravagance. Its towering glass facade mirrored the bustling city skyline, while inside, the lobby dazzled with golden accents, a cascading water feature, and plush velvet chairs. The faint scent of lavender wafted from fresh bouquets, adding to the air of refinement. At the center of this elegance was the reception desk, where Victor Grayson held court. Tall and impeccably dressed, Victor, in his late 40s, had a sharp eye for detail and an even sharper tongue. Having worked there for over a decade, he prided himself on spotting the right kind of guest instantly: CEOs, celebrities, dignitaries, and he had zero patience for anyone who didn't fit his mold of luxury. On a crisp Wednesday afternoon, 15-year-old Maya Patel stepped into this pristine world. She wore a faded denim jacket, scuffed boots, and carried a worn canvas backpack slung over her shoulder. Her dark hair was pulled into a messy ponytail, and she hummed a tune as she crossed the gleaming floor. To Victor, she was an anomaly, an intruder in his domain. What he didn't know was that Maya's mother, Priya Patel, was the hotel's owner, a brilliant businesswoman who kept a low profile despite her wealth and influence. Maya approached the desk with a bright, unassuming grin. "Hi, I'm here to see my mom. Could you tell her Maya's downstairs?" Victor barely glanced up from his computer, his lip curling as he sized her up. "Your mom. This isn't a daycare, sweetheart. Try the coffee shop across the street. They might have a lost and found for kids like you." Maya tilted her head, unfazed. "No, really. Her name's Priya Patel. She's probably in her office. Can you just call her?" Victor's dry chuckle echoed. "Priya Patel, the owner? That's rich. I know who belongs here, kid, and it's not you." Victor leaned back in his chair, arms crossed, his smirk dripping with condescension. "Run along now," he said, waving Maya off. "I've got real guests to handle." Maya's smile held steady, though her eyes narrowed slightly. "I'm not joking. She's expecting me. Just call her, please." Victor's patience snapped like a brittle twig. "Enough games," he barked, reaching for the phone. But instead of dialing Priya's office, he called security. "Yes, we've got a trespasser at the front desk. Please handle it." A small crowd of guests began to gather, drawn by the tension. Some whispered, others pulled out phones to record. Maya stepped back, crossing her arms casually as a burly security guard, Tom, approached. She didn't argue, just watched with a calm, almost amused glint in her eye. "You're making a mistake," she said simply, her voice steady. "But okay, let's see how this plays out." Victor smirked triumphantly. "Oh, it'll play out just fine, for me." Tom hesitated, scratching his head. Miss, I need you to come with me." Maya shrugged. "Sure, but you might want to wait. Things are about to get interesting." Before Tom could respond, the elevator doors slid open across the lobby. Priya Patel stepped out, tall, commanding, in a sleek navy blazer. Her sharp eyes scanned the scene, landing on Maya and the guard. Her brow furrowed as she strode forward, heels clicking on the marble. "What's going on here?" Priya's voice sliced through the murmurs. Victor jumped in, eager to take charge. "Mrs. Patel, I apologize for the disruption. This girl was loitering and making wild claims about being related to you. Security's handling it." Priya stopped, her gaze shifting to Maya. "Wild claims?" She turned to her daughter. "Maya, are you okay?" Maya grinned, unfazed. "Yeah, Mom. Just chilling while Mr. Fancy Pants calls me a liar." Victor's face went pale. Mom?" he stammered, his smugness crumbling. Priya's expression turned icy as she faced Victor. "Yes, she's my daughter. Explain why she's being treated like an intruder in my hotel." Victor's mouth flapped uselessly. I didn't know, Mrs. Patel." "She didn't. She doesn't look like what?" Priya cut in, her tone sharp as a blade. "Like she belongs? Like my daughter? Go on." Victor fumbled. "I just assumed. She was dressed so casually, and I thought." "You thought," Priya said, her voice low and dangerous. "That's the problem. You didn't ask. You assumed, and you humiliated her based on your arrogance." Maya piped up, her tone light but pointed. To be fair, Mom, it was kinda funny watching him trip over himself. He was so sure I was some random kid. Priya's lips twitched, but her focus stayed on Victor. This isn't a game. This hotel runs on respect, for every guest, every person. You've been here long enough to know that. Victor slumped, his bravado gone. I'm so sorry, Mrs. Patel. It was a mistake. Priya studied him, letting the silence stretch. The lobby hushed, her authority palpable. It better not happen again, she said finally. You're on probation. One more slip, and you're out. Apologize to Maya, now. Victor turned, face flushed. I'm sorry, Miss Patel. I was wrong. Maya winked. Accepted. Just don't make it a habit. Priya put an arm around Maya. Let's get lunch. Next time, I'll send a memo so they know you're VIP. As they walked off, the crowd buzzed. Victor stood frozen, the lesson sinking in. Later, over burgers on the rooftop, Maya laughed. His face went from king to, oh no, in seconds. Priya smiled. You handled it well. Let's hope he learned. Oh, he did, Maya grinned. Or I'll show up in pajamas next time. They laughed, the city sprawling below, while Victor vowed to never judge a guest again, no matter their attire.